Hi guys, today we're going to talk about scientific notation, which is when you see the numbers where it's something times 10 to the something. So we're going to talk about what those pieces mean. The beginning number has to be between 1 and 9.9. So that means that you can't ever start scientific notation. It couldn't be like 0.3, that's less than 1. Same thing, you couldn't have something that said like 98.4 there. It has to fall in between that range. And if it doesn't, then your job is to move the decimal until it does. The exponent is what helps you figure out how to move the decimal. And so some people like to think about it with right and left. If you're good with that, do it. I get right and left mixed up. So an easier way for me is to think about if that exponent is negative, then you're going to have a very small number. And so basically it's going to be 0 point something, like a very small decimal number. And if it's a positive exponent, then it's going to be a big number. Okay, so if I look at some of these examples, I start with 6.02 times 10 to the 13th. So what that means is this 13 says I'm going to move that decimal 13 times. Because it's positive, I'm going to move it to make it a big number. So if I went that way, my number would get smaller. So I'm going to go this way and make my number bigger. So let's take that 6.02. And I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm out of numbers. So keep going and we'll fill back in with zeros later. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's the new location for the decimal. And then in each of those spots that I made, we're just going to fill up with zeros. Now it's okay, we don't have to have 13 zeros. The 13 just says how many times we moved the decimal. So my final answer is 602, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. 10, 11, and there's your new decimal point. So make sure that you show me where it goes so I don't think that you didn't move it or it got lost or something. Okay. In the next example, the negative exponent means we're going to move that decimal and we're going to move it until the number gets smaller. And so that means to make it smaller, the decimal has to move this way. So I'm going to start with my 8.2 over here and I'm going to move it 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's the new location for my decimal. Again, fill in all those spots with zeros. So that final answer becomes, you can put a 0 in front of the decimal if you want, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros in front. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0, 2. Now for the next example, we're going to go the other way. We have to figure out where the decimal goes. And so if I'm thinking about it here, I want my number to be between a 1 and a 9.9. So if I put the decimal here, that says 9.03. That falls within the range that I want. Okay, so now I have to figure out how many times do I have to move it to get there. So the decimal wasn't there in the beginning, which means it's hidden here at the end of the number. So to move it there, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And lastly, I'm going to look at this original number. That's a big number, which means that I'm going to make my exponent positive. Let's try one more. Here I have to decide where the decimal is going to go. My goal is between 1 and 9.9. And so if I put the decimal here, 3.15 falls into that range. So that's okay for the first number, times 10. Now it started over here, it was given. We moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. But because this is a small decimal number, I have to make my exponent negative. So that's all there is. So here's what I'd like you to do. Is try this practice at the bottom. Don't do the bottom part where it says calculator, but try some of this practice, pause the video, and then come back and check your answer with me. Alright, here are the answers. If there's something that you feel like you don't understand and it's kind of weird, just come on over and ask and we'll figure it out together. Alright, the next thing we need to talk about is how does this get put into your calculator. So here's what you should not do. do not push times 10 and the little like to the button. Never, ever, ever do that, okay? Here's why. You understand what it means, but your calculator is going to mess it up for you. So you may not ever push times 10 to the. Don't do it, okay? What we're going to do instead is we're going to use the E button. So grab your calculator and I'll show you where that is. The E button on your calculator is right here. See above that button it says EE? That's the magical button you want to use. So to get to that, you'd put the number in. So if it was 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, you would push 6.02, and then on the calculator you would hit second, and then you'd hit that little x to the minus 1. This is going to become E. It will literally say E on your calculator. That takes the place of the times and the 10, and then you just push 23 or whatever the exponent is. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is on your calculator, let's go through and put some of these problems in and let's see if we can get these answers. Okay? So on my calculator, I'm going to talk you through. To put this in, we would do 7.94, second E, don't push this and don't push this, just do minus 2. Then times 8.02, don't push times, don't push 10, do second comma, or second, that button for E, 9. And your calculator is going to say 6, 3, 6, 7, 8, 8, 0, 0, 0. Okay? What we want to do is we want to put that back into scientific notation. So now we're going to convert like you did at the top of the page. I'm going to move my decimal here. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to get that. So it becomes 6.3678 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's a positive 8 because it's a big number. Now I can take this and round it to the tenths place, which is here. This 6 afterwards means we round up, and that's where we get that 6.4 times 10 to the 8th from. Okay, let's try the next one. Put this in your calculator. 9.1 E 10 plus 4.6 E 10. And your calculator is going to give you a scientific notation answer that says 1.37 E 11. In human language, you're not going to write the E. You're going to say that means 1.37 times 10 to the 11th. Then you can round that to the ones place, which is here. The 3 means we're going to leave it, and so we end up with this, 1 times 10 to the 11th. Okay, next one. Put this in your calculator, 5.3 E negative 6 minus 3.7 E negative 7. And your calculator is going to give you this really long decimal. It says 0.000000493. That's not in scientific notation, so we're going to put it into scientific notation. We want our decimal to end up here between the 4 and the 9. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4.93 times 10 to the negative 6, because this is a decimal number, and that's already rounded to the hundredths place, so that's where that answer came from. Next, let's put this in your calculator. 6.11 E4 divided by 4.13 E negative 4. And your calculator says this big long number, it says doesn't say a point, does it? Says 147941888. We want to put that into scientific notation, so we want the decimal to be here. So it's going to become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1.479418888 times 10 to the 8th. That's a big number, so it's a positive exponent. Then we can take that and round it at the 10th spot, which is there. The 4 will round up to a 5 because of the 7 afterwards, and there's your answer. Alright, let's keep going. See if you can get these answers that are here. Oh, this one has a typo. Alright, so let's put this next one in. So you're going to do 3.9, don't push times, don't push 10, just do E7 minus 9.09 E6. And your calculator says 29910000. So we're going to put that into scientific notation. We want it to be 2.99112345 to the 7th power. Big number is positive exponent. And then if we round that to the 10th place, this 9 makes the other 9 round up, which makes the 2 also round up, so it becomes 3.0. Next one, 4.22. Don't push times, do E negative 3. 1.71 E8. You're multiplying those numbers. Calculator says 721620. Let's put that into scientific notation. So I want the decimal to end up here. So it becomes 7.21620. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 5th. Big number, so it's a positive exponent. Then if I round that to the 100th place, the 6 makes the 1 round up, and we end up with this. Alright, next one. Put this in your calculator, 5.83 E negative 7 plus 3.71 E negative 8. And your calculator says 0.000000062. So I want to put the decimal here, so it becomes 6.2 times 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the 7th, and because it's a little negative decimal number, that's what our exponent becomes, negative. And it's already rounded to the 10th place, so we leave it as is. Alright, last one. Alright, so put this in your calculator, 1.94 E5 divided by 8.33, don't push this, E negative 3. Calculator's going to say a big number, 232,89315.73. And so what we want to do is put that into scientific notation by moving the decimal here. So it's going to become 2.328931573 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a big number, so we're going to leave that exponent as is, as positive. Then if I want to round it to the ones place, that's right there. And I leave it just like this. Alright, do lots and lots of practice with the E and let me know if you have any questions.